up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. This is episode 422 for the week of December 28th, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night, John. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are joining me on this momentous occasion, if you look at the date of this week's episode, you may come to a realization that yes, as folks in chat have started to state, this is, in fact, the final episode of 2020. Fat! And I don't know if I'm prepared for this moment. I don't know if I'm prepared for this moment. Next week is on the first 5 of the year. Okay. Maybe we'll have to do something stupid on that one then. I don't know. I still floated the idea, okay? Like internally in my head, I still floated the idea of doing 2020 sex. It's been floating around there. It'd be really stupid, but that's the one that's been floating around my mind. Be like, man, that'd be really stupid. Rad, I would never. See, the whole, you know what? Let's do this let's briefly talk about this 6-7 thing. So I am a 34-year-old father of a 6-year-old. And my 6-year-old is so like, how do I describe this? She's so naive and she's so innocent that like she doesn't know the origin of 6-7, but because she's in fucking first grade, every kid, it's still the thing that the kids say. It's still the thing that the young kids say. And it's trickled down into the fucking first graders. And so my kid will say it and she'll be like, well, my friends say it. And I'm like, but they don't know either. Like, no, none of you know the dumb fucking reason as to why this thing exists. So just understand that I am also in the 6-7 hell. And yeah, like so much so that I was watching, I know this is not Halo related in the slightest, and I apologize, but so much so that I was watching a Magic the Gathering like Commander gameplay video today. It was just playing on my phone. I was doing some dishes. And like one of the creatures on the battlefield had a power toughness of 6-7. And literally my daughter out of the corner of the fucking living room was like, Dad, they said 6-7. And I'm like, bro, like, why does that make your ears perk up? Like, what the fuck? I try to get your attention, God forbid. But when a random comment in the fucking video I'm watching says 6-7, she's like, whoo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to HCS Pro Talk, where we're actually going to talk about some Halo shit. The title of this week's episode, because I haven't even gotten to that point yet. Juan, if you're editing this, I'm so sorry, dude. Holy shit. The title of this week's episode is FaZe'ing Back In. So yeah, we're going to talk about FaZe, obviously. But On this week's episode of the show, we have an update on the future of Play Griffball for the new year, which is obviously exciting, a lucid retrospective on a tumultuous 2025, and Kason provides an update amid the FaZe Clan organization chaos. So without further ado, this episode is very, very front-loaded. We got a lot of stuff in the competitive news in the Rostermania segment. So without further ado, let's get into some competitive news. Play Griffball update for 2026. This is by Play Griffball. A whole new year of shining, shimmering splendor. I believe that was an Aladdin reference, as a matter of fact. For those who may or may not have gotten that one. There you go. Welcome back to the new year of Griffball, Griffball, Griffball. We are excited to have a whole heap of events and goodies lined up for the whole year. You may have seen rumors of the new multiplayer Halo game coming out alongside the release of the Halo remake. If it does drop, we'll be creating Griffball within the first 1 to 2 weeks, as long as Forge is actually released at day one this time. Little shade being thrown Infinite's way. We're looking to improve the quality and quantity of Griffball available to the community. We hope that the introduction of major and minor seasons, late league expansion, and community-run events will help build that wonder. Here is a little taste of what's to come in the first half of the year. In quarter one, there will be a minor season 1 draft beginning on January 16th with matches starting January 23rd and late league Gape Fest. And then quarter two, the Chicago Rally Live event from April 18th to the 19th, and the AGLA American Griffball League of America major season will take place as well. Minor Season 1, a voyage onto new horizons. We have always wanted to give players more optionality to the way they play in a season. We believe that introducing minor seasons will give us just that. Through minor seasons, players will be able to have the fast-paced season style that is always promised. Do not fret, however, as minor seasons will not replace the regular seasons you know and love. Now, those regular seasons will be called major seasons, which will have all the classic hardcore elements you are used to. Our first minor season will have the following differences from what you are used to. A quasi-classic teams. Players and captains have credit values. Teams have a total credit cap. Build a team within the cap. What's up, Freezy? How you doing? Okay, you know what, Freezy? Get the fuck out of here with that shit, all right? You may be one of the nicest people. You may put on some amazing DJ sets, but that shit, get out of here. Matches are played on the weekend in a round-robin format. You have all weekend to get them done, and it'll be a very short season, 5 weeks, containing playtime. So how will you know how to build your team? Well, all players and captains will be assigned a fair value, which will be used for the team building portion of the season and for subbing. But what is fair value? The fair value is determined or is defined from the sum of your season and event performances, your lifetime and mode specific player grades, and your currently assessed skill level of the game mode. Fret not, as your fair value will be exactly that. Fair. You can sign up for their first minor season at the link provided in the Google Doc of the show. Signups close on January 12th, and the rulebook can also be found in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show. Minor seasons will also introduce a new meta progression system that some of you may remember being tried in some form or another in the past. We do not have a name for it yet, but it will function as a reward system which gives you the ability to get an edge on other players in the following minor seasons. You will obtain points from participating in major seasons, minor seasons, and events. As you accrue these points, you'll be able to spend them on rewards at the start of a minor season. Purchasing the rewards will function as an auction block where players compete to see who is able to obtain the reward for themselves, as rewards are limited each minor season. More information on how this system works will be given as we get into the second minor season. Balancing competitiveness and experimentation. Yo, Absent! Thank you so much for the 25-month resub. You get a woo! Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. Balancing competitiveness and experimentation. As you may have noticed, we're currently in an extended period of downtime where the sole focus is to properly balance out the thrust mode in order for it to be as competitive and fair as can be. To accomplish this task, we are following the core tenets of fair to play, fun to play, high skill expression, and accessible for all. Yo, Rad, thank you so much for the gifted sub as well. You get a woo! Thank you so much, man. Greatly appreciated. These tenets help keep our focus in check for the primary modes of play. As we're riding to the peak of this period, we'll be introducing more quality of life changes and core balances to further enhance the experience. But what's Griffball without a little excitement? We have some fun times in the works, such as a 3v3 class-based mode and map, Griffball Director's Cut, Lux's Objective Carousel, and map gimmicks. Rad with the gifted sub to Ghost as well. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Rad. You get a woo! Goddamn. Thank you. And now Ghost is hopefully can shut the fuck up about it now. God damn it. Some of these you've already gotten a chance to try, and the others are still in the oven. We're excited to get these completed and into your hands. Major Season 1, the tried and true way to Griff. Griffball has always known the classic draft or bid season where you get to have a fresh run of building out your experience with 3 new players and trying to be the best possible team you can. We want to keep that feeling alive going forward. The introduction of major seasons is our way of doing so. These will function exactly the same way you've become accustomed to. The standard sign-up, draft and bid, pro and legacy split, streamed playoffs, the works. For the most part, nothing is changing from what you're used to. The only difference here is the timings. Our plan is to have 2 major seasons run every year. Major Season 1 signups will open on March 1st, with games beginning on March 29th. And Major Season 2 will start sometime in August. This gives everyone the opportunity to know exactly when playtime will be so you can plan out your time accordingly. We want to ensure that the community still gets to experience the core experience of season play without all the wackiness you know our administration loves to throw your way. Remember, we will not introduce wacky modes, bizarre additions, goofiness to any major season. These are always going to be the core competitive experience. Leaving a legacy. In the spirit of advancement and growth, Deathcrawler and myself firmly believe that the only way to keep the flame alive is to remove the friction of running seasons and providing content to the community. In that essence, we are building out a Griffball Manager bot that will be available to anyone with the appropriate roles to use. This will allow community leadership to easily host and manage seasons without the need of Deathcrawler or any of the current admins. Yo, Rad with the gifted sub to Jackson. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you. Get a woo! Thank you so much. Halo guy, I've said this for years. I know on the outside looking in, like you may hear, oh, competitive Griffball, whoop-de-doo. But no, like if you actually go and watch the games being played, like it's fucking awesome. And there is a huge dedicated fan base to it, and they always have seasons running. They always have players competing. They always have like the wacky stuff happening as well. They have customs nights. Like they do. They've kept going for a very long time. And so I implore anyone, if you are any at all interested in like joining this competitive league for Griffball, maybe just to test things out, whatever it may be, give it a shot. Go sign up. It's fucking awesome. And they deserve all the praise in the world because Halo Infinite, also Jackson, welcome. When Halo Infinite released and Forge being in the state that it was in, the Gravity Hammer being in the state it was in, there was a lot of questions as to what was going to happen. But then the Play Griffball community came together once again and just continued to iterate and make something fucking awesome. And the fact that they're providing that outlet for just any and all type of player, it's really, really fucking cool. So again, if anybody has, if anyone's had any inkling to dip their toe into the Play Griffball waters, I implore you to do so. Speaking of the community and you are all integral to Griffball. It is you who keeps the seasons going and customs fun. But as the lifeblood, we need to keep you moving. We want to foster any creativity you have by giving you the tools and manpower you need. All you have to do is ask and show that you want it. If that sounds like you, please fill out the form included in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show. Scout, we're going to talk about Lucid in just a moment. In just a moment. All right. So again, shout out to Play Griffball. Shout out to the AGLA. Join their Discord server if you haven't already. Go play some fucking Griffball. Go watch some competitive Griffball matches because they're genuinely fucking cool. And yeah, it's awesome. Moving on. Lucid recaps his 2025, 2026 team plans and more. This is by Crispy Corn Pops and Lucid. The original video from Lucid is included in the show notes. Also, the Reddit post with the recap from Crispy Corn Pops is included in the show notes as well. Dav, we're not going to watch it. No. Instead, we're going to give the recap here from Crispy Corn Pops. Just because Dav, this is going to sound really stupid, but that's a genuinely long video relatively speaking, long video, but really it's to the point, if people want to go watch it, I implore you to go watch it yourself. Give him the view. You know what I mean? As dumb as that sounds, give him the view on the YouTube video. We don't really need to watch it here for reaction content or anything like that. Instead, read through the recap here provided by Crispy and provide thoughts along the way. So, from Crispy Corn Pops over on the Reddit post, he states that Lucid says things are in a weird place with no Halo multiplayer details. He says, quote, a lot of people are jumping ship to compete in COD. Some people are sticking around Halo a little bit, but very few, end quote. Mentions the lack of content in the HCS competition for Infinite. Quote, the game, from my perspective, is honestly tanked. There's such an all-time low of participation in people wanting to play the game, and rightfully so, end quote. Claims it's hard to be a Halo player and content creator right now. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to play devil's advocate here because I've played devil's advocate previously in regards to these couple specific points that he's making. First and foremost, the fact, again, this is because we're going to talk about Kason and FaZe in a little bit as well. But hear me out here. For me, it's more so about the fact that we actually have events planned next year. Where at the end of Halo 5, and again, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I'll hold fucking the HCS accountable and that I've given them their fair share of shit. But we did actually get legitimate announcements for events in 2026. Where if we go back in time and we look at the end of Halo 5, right? Where it was like a dream hack maybe. You know what I mean? Where it really did feel like we don't know what the fuck is going on. Or at the end of Halo 4, where that was, you want to talk about dark times? That was the darkest. But again, it was an instance of we really don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Didn't we get MCC tournaments right away after 5? Tools, I'm talking about the game. It's like the not moving on to a different title, like going backwards. You know what I mean? I'm talking about sticking with the current title that's available. So when we got to the end of Halo 4, the question was, what the fuck is, what are we doing? Then at the end of Halo 5, it was, yes, Tools, you were correct, moved on to MCC, but hopefully everybody understands that it's not the same. Like, every Halo game does play differently. And so it was a period of, what about the players who wanted to compete in 5? What are we doing there? Oh, you're fucked. Basically. We had Money Tuesdays. Shout out to LVT. But you didn't have a lot of Halo 5 competition, if any at all. So, at the end of Infinite here, and we get a legitimate announcement as to, hey, don't like, no matter what, we're getting 2 dream hacks. Okay? No matter what, there will be 2 dream hacks. No matter what, there will be an invitational at Halo Fest. So no matter what, we're getting 3 Halo events in 2026. Period. Okay? On top of that, while we don't know what everybody's cooking up from an organizational standpoint, including LVT, based off what Bestman was talking about, there will be a pro league of some kind, or it sounds like there should be a pro league of some kind, with a LAN happening at the end of that. And then Shopify are planning to put on an additional LAN at some point during the year. So with all that in mind, right? And that's not including any offshoot online tournaments that are put on by whomever, SSG, FaZe, whomever wants to jump in and do something, right? That's not including those. But based off the information that we have right now, no matter what, 2 dream hacks and an invitational at Halo Fest. That is 3 LANs. Okay, that is 3 LANs no matter what. I know I'm saying that a lot. Then, more than likely having a pro league with a LAN at the end of that as well. So that's 4 LANs. And then Shopify potentially putting on an additional LAN outside of the pro league as well in 2026, meaning 5 LANs total. And that's like, that's the traditional season. You know what I mean? Where you have 3, like what? We had 3 majors and Open and Worlds last year. That was 5 LANs. And I know that that the dream hacks, and I know that the Shopify LANs are not going to be at the same prize pool as a major, right? I think the dream hacks are 100,000, if I'm not mistaken, but still, that's not fucking chump change. So again, I feel like I need to continually put things into perspective because yes, it does kind of feel bleak in a way because we don't know if and when the pro league is going to kick up next year. We don't know the time frame yet. Tools says soon TM on whatever LVT is cooking up, which I'm assuming is the pro league, but I don't like to assume things, so don't take my word for it. But either way, and then Louis putting out that tweet about like, what if we did like a LAN in February, right? A LAN in February of some kind. So there are things that are happening. There are things that are concrete, that are already solidified. Like they're already ready to go. My problem is that we don't know when things are starting. Like we know when the dream hacks are because those dates are solidified. You can purchase tickets right now. Like those things are ready to go. We know when those are. But the gaps between, right? The gap leading up to the first dream hack, the gap leading up to the second dream hack, and then the gap leading into the invitational at Halo Fest at the end of the year. These gaps obviously need to be, and they will be filled with things to do. We just don't know when things are started. So again, Lucid is a professional competitive player. Yaxon is a professional competitive player. You know what I mean? They probably have a better understanding of maybe a better understanding of what is happening versus Joe Schmo over here just talking. But if I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I want to provide some context out there for those that may be just thinking all doom and gloom all the time about this, is that we are having events next year. They are solidified. You can purchase tickets for 3 of them right now. So events are happening. Okay? No matter what, which I've said a shit ton this segment, we're getting 3 LANs confirmed. 2 DreamHacks and an Invitational. On top of that, a pro league of some kind leading into another LAN, and then Shopify looking to put on an additional LAN outside of that, which would be 5 total. It'd be 5 total. Okay? And that's not including what Louis from LVT was talking about with potentially having a LAN in February of some fucking kind, whatever that may be. It may or may not be. Things can change. So there's a potential for 6. There's a potential for 6 LANs to happen. There will be competition. My only concern and my only issue is that we don't know when things are starting up. And Yaxon says the problem is the first one being in Birmingham. That is a problem, right? Because we don't know. And here's the shitty part. Here's the shitty part. And Yaxon, I don't know if you're going to make this point, but I'll get to this point. With the amount, because we're going to talk about Kason, we're going to talk about FaZe and him having a roster like kind of solidified of what he wants, right? But not ready to pay until things kick up again. My only concern is there going to be enough organizational like support to field teams to send them to Birmingham? That's another issue that I have, is once everything is ready to go and once things are officially like, okay, whether it be some online competition or whatever, but the year is kicked off, we're ready to rock and roll, players starting to come back, maybe teams starting to form, whatever. I'm curious if there's any type of organizational support to get players to Birmingham. Getting teams to a U.S. event's a lot different than shipping players overseas. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big difference. So that's my biggest concern for the beginning of the year. Now, if depends if we have things leading up to Birmingham, but that's my concern. Beth with the 68 fucking month resub. Thank you so much. You get a woo next month, Beth. Next month. Yeah. Now, if HCS pays for 16 teams to go to UK, is that enough for people to play? Tools, like there had to have been. No one's going to pay out of pocket for 60,000 first place split 4 ways, especially with Shopify being dominant. That's the other point too, Yaxon. What the fuck? And this is no offense to you. I mean this. This is no offense to you. This is no offense to any other player out there. But you hit an additional nail on the head for me specifically. What team? Because Best Man even talked about it too, is that supposedly there is a team out there that is being built to compete against Shopify. I'm wondering who the fuck that could be. I'm like, who the fuck? Who? And how? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think teams could be competitive against Shopify. Tools. Give me an example. Shoot one off right now. Shoot a team off right now. I'm curious. Please. The FaZe roster took them to Game 5 at Worlds. That is true. The FaZe roster did take them to a Game 5 at Worlds. And then they collapsed. And then they absolutely fucking collapsed. Bound not playing already asked. Wait, really? Wait, yeah, Jackson, like legitimately? He's not planning on coming back for 26? I think people say that until stuff. I agree with that, Tools. I agree with that completely. I'm just curious. Of course, Jackson, things do change up. Just like I'm saying, like, this is, and again, this is not to take away from Kason, but even he, like, we'll talk about it. He doesn't want to pay players until things kick off. Like, he says he has the team that he wants. Do things change from now to that? Like, from at that point to now? You know what I mean? I don't know. All right, let's keep going with this Lucid recap here. So basically, to encapsulate the whole point I was trying to make earlier is that we have events confirmed for next year. Things may seem bleak right now because things haven't kicked off yet, but 2026 we're not there yet. Like, we're not in the new year yet. Okay? Like, we still have a little more time before 2026 is actually here. My only concern is, when do events actually start kicking up again? That's my only concern. I really hope it's not. Because like when Brandon put out that tweet about a potential February LAN of some kind, whatever that may encapsulate, my worry is I just hope we don't make it to March without anything. I just hope we don't make it to March without anything. That's my concern. Lucid complains about competitive settings again. Quote, I just don't think that the jiggle peak, ghost jump, sprint strafe, current bandit meta that we're in right now has been the peak of Halo whatsoever. I'll leave it at that. End quote. Again, this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion about, and I am not a professional player. I'm ass, but my opinion kind of aligns with Lucid. I don't like the jiggle peak at all. It's never been my thing. But again, it's because I'm bad. Like, I can't counter well against it. So that's a me thing. And then also, I've always been a BR person. So I've never been the single shot rifle player. I've always preferred a BR. But again, personal preference. So that's just me. But other than that, I think the game, the fact, and this isn't to like go against his opinion. It's his opinion. He can think what he wants. For me, I think it's a testament to how competitive each year of Halo Infinite has been, or how progressively competitive each year of Halo Infinite has been. That even as somebody who is not the biggest Bandit fan, can still watch this scene, can still watch the games being played and see the plays that are being put on display and really appreciate it and really respect it. So even though it's not my cup of tea from a gameplay perspective, I would much rather play with BRs. I can still watch the Bandit from a competitive standpoint and still fucking love what I'm watching. So that's me. Lucid thinks Halo Studios and not the HCS team gave up on Infinite too early. Sure. I always look back to the whole, I forgot who it was. I don't even know if the person still works at the studio anymore, but the individual who was on one of the community streams, and he talked about how we truly believe we've finally reached seasonality with the game. And then literally right after that live stream, hey, we're done with seasons. I'm like, oh, so you guys, you guys reached seasonality. You've reached what your plan was for seasonality. And now it's like, hey, fuck seasons. Okay. All right, guys. Sounds good. I always felt like there was more in the tank. I don't know. We talked about it in a previous episode of the show with like the whole, was Halo Infinite multiplayer going free to play the right choice, or like a net positive? And I do believe it was a net positive at the end of the day. I just thought they did the live service model in a very bad way, personally. Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Frosty? Why? I mean, thank you. Well, why, dude? What the shit? Thank you so much for the raid, Frosty. Goddamn. Congratulations on the World Championship win yet again. And also, Frosty, obviously, I don't think you're going to be hanging around, but let me just tell you that it's always a pleasure being able to chat with you at events. So thank you for always taking the time to do so. You're fucking awesome. Rad with the gifted sub to Frosty. You get a woo! Thank you so much for the gifted sub to Frosty, dude. Thank you so much. Also, St. Griff, thank you for the follow. Frosty, thank you so much for the raid. God damn. Continuing with what Lucid was talking about, says, quote, it's been a tough year. It has definitely been a tough year for him, and then recaps this time on SSG and FaZe rosters and shares behind the scenes info. So we'll start with the SSG roster. Frosty, you're a fucking real one. Ash, hey guys, mostly watching on my TV today. Happy New Year to y'all. Hey, Happy New Year to you as well, Ash. Juan Grandma, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the live show. Rabbits Thundo, thank you for the follow as well. Welcome, welcome. Lucid, speaking about the SSG roster, claims the beginning half of the year was with Jesus Christ, while teaming with SSG was a blur that felt, quote, almost like a dream and, quote, doesn't feel real. Says SSG, quote, was obviously supposed to be the other super team being created, end quote, and that, quote, there was a lot of hope and faith initially creating that team, end quote. Doesn't have exact analysis as to why SSG roster didn't work. Quote, maybe it really was too many cooks in the kitchen. Possible issues he mentioned were, quote, play call direction, not being on the same page, passively being stubborn on what any one of us thinks needs to be done, end quote. Also, Rad, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Flowers with the gifts all day, my man. Thank you so much. You get a woo! Greatly appreciated. God damn. Y'all need to invite APG to the show one day. It's really funny you mentioned that, Dav, because oh my God. The initial plan for this episode, I know I'm all over the place. I apologize. The initial plan for this episode of the show was to take a trip down memory lane in terms of like stories that I wanted to share or that I've already shared previously. But to put it all, encapsulate it all into one episode, like reflecting on the last 4 years and stories that happened outside of the event. And there was an interaction that Brad and I had years ago, and that almost came to be. So, hey, maybe one day. ABG could do a pro drama segment. I don't want that though, Rad. I don't want that. I'm not the biggest fan on the drama stuff, to be completely honest with you. Try to stay away from it. So, but no, I'd love to have him on just to have a chat. Because a lot of people, as much, and I'll be the first person to say it as well. Like, I am not a fan of like his drama content either. And that's just a personal opinion. You know what I mean? But what I will say is, and I've said this on a previous episode as well, I love his analysis of gameplay. I think that because of the mind that he has for the game and for how long he's been competing for, I think he transitioned so well into that analyst role of breaking things down from a player perspective, and him being part of that world's winning roster as well on Optic. Obviously, I think he was done dirty in a way. I would have loved to see him still be on that roster to see what they could have done in that second year. But regardless, I think Brad's a hell of a fucking player. He has an incredible mind for the game, and that's what I would love to pick his brain on. So, continuing with the SSG roster, though. SSG team, quote, was definitely some of the worst engagements that I've had in a team in a long time, maybe even ever. In terms of really unproductive play, not great conversations, a lot of confusion, a lot of times. A lot of long nights that led to nothing, to be blunt. That's kind of how this entire year felt to some degree, end quote. I mean, yeah. I don't want to put words into his mouth, and I don't want to put words in any other players' mouths that were on that team. It's just when you watch them play, you could tell. Jackson hits the nail on the head. So it was obvious the team did not fuck with each other. Yep. And yeah, I had high hopes as well. When that team was announced, when Optic was announced, when obviously when Shopify was announced as well. Yeah, I had high hopes for them. Was thinking that it was going to be more competitive instead of having just two teams at the top. And obviously that did not happen for SSG, man. That was holy shit. Says doesn't have any hate towards Eco or Stellar. There was some drama that ensued after they split up, but it was just petty, stupid things. And then, quote, at the end of the day, I think we all still tried. That's what I can still at least say about myself, that I still tried, end quote. So at least from a beef standpoint, it sounds like they've all squashed all that shit, which is good. Love to hear that. Gotta leave the doors open, you know. Don't burn the bridges, all that fun stuff. Frosty says too many different ideologies of how to play. Yep. All you have to do is just watch them. You know what I mean? That's literally all you had to do. Like when you watch, this is why I always talk about how just fucking watch the games being played. When you watched a Shopify, they were, especially like once that stride was hit, you could tell they were all on the same page. Like everybody was in proper positioning. Everyone was collapsing together. Everyone was working in tandem. But then on the flip side, you look at SSG in that sense and be like, it just didn't. This is so dumb, but it didn't feel good to watch. You know what I mean? It just didn't feel good to watch. So, this is unfortunate. Just unfortunate. Moving on to the FaZe roster. Lucid says the FaZe roster move was, quote, one of the better choices to be made at the time, especially getting out of the environment I was in with SSG for the first half of the year, end quote. Says he really liked that roster and still appreciates his teammates. Yeah, and again, just literally from a vibe standpoint, right? Literally from a vibe standpoint, you see the shift when he was on that SSG roster to going to that FaZe roster, linking back up with Trippy once again, getting Penguin there and all that fun stuff. Like it, yes, it really did feel like the Legos being clicked into place. Where, yes, there was a little bumpy times at the beginning, but again, once that kind of stride was hit, it's like it felt more natural to watch them play. It just felt more natural to watch them play. Claims FaZe's practice was pretty spotty. Just a lot of friction along both of those teams. It wasn't even the most outright like yelling matches or being angry at each other. Just very passive in game. Maybe out of sync in game personalities and players. Just not the right team fits this entire year. That was for me. That for me was something I've never experienced as a competitor to this degree. End quote. I mean, yeah. What's up, Hawkeye? Welcome back. Yeah. Again, this is me retelling what Lucid was talking about in his video from a recap from Crispy Core Pops on Reddit. So my only point to add to this would be, yeah, you had high hopes at the beginning of the year teaming with SSG, teaming with those players. Things went south very fast. And then you make a 2-for-2 trade, basically. You get the boys back together on the FaZe roster. Things are obviously working a little better at that point, but again, it just wasn't the same as when you were on Optic at the beginning of the first year. So, yeah. Says Worlds 2025 was, quote, literally the most tragic tournament imaginable in my career, end quote. And that his teammates probably feel the same way. FaZe had a pep talk about their, quote, less than stellar, quote, pool play performance, losing to Cloud9 and being put in a bracket against Shopify. Told themselves if they beat Shopify in that series, they'd go on to win the entire event and become the next world champs. They got close, but fell flat by the end of that series. Quote, I think that was almost like a sign off after that as a team, end quote. Oh, man. top 12. Top fucking 12. Yaxon, I understand. Yaxon says they don't just auto win because they beat Shopify. I disagree with all that. I also like personally disagree with that because you have no idea. You have no idea how the rest of the tournament is going to go. But, and again, I literally said I wasn't going to do this. I'm going to fucking do this for a split second. If I were in his shoes, I would think like mentality wise, oh, we beat the favorites to win the whole fucking thing. Our mental going into the rest of the tournament's going to be out fucking sky high. We can beat anybody. You know what I mean? I think that's where he was getting at. And again, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I know I just fucking did, but that's where I think he'd be coming from. That's like saying they took Shop Game 5, they should slam TSM, but they don't. I'm telling you, I watched Yak. We literally witnessed one of the greatest collapses of all time. Okay? Like, we literally witnessed one of the greatest collapses of all time. Where you go from nearly knocking Shopify to losers to getting fucking annihilated to be sent home top 12. I watched it. Viltrumite, yes, that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. Yaxon and I are disagreeing with what he had said. And then next team for 2026 in the next Halo game. This is the last part of it. He says, quote, in the short term, I would like to be competing in Halo still, even with the 2026 season. I would like to is the verbiage I'm going to use because I'm not sure what the organizations are like, the team situations, trying to sort those things out. Nothing is set in stone right now, but it's again, a very dry situation, a very dry second dark age, unfortunately for Halo, end quote. Quote, I want to be competing in whatever the next Halo is. Whatever it is, I want to be there and still participating. I'll always love Halo and hope to actually be playing a product sooner rather than later, end quote. Ronan, thank you. Oh my God. So yeah, all in all, I mean, shit. I don't know if you could have predicted the year that Lucid was going to have. I don't think you could have predicted it. And to go from having high expectations every team has decent expectations at the beginning of the year, but to have as high of expectations at the beginning of the year as they did, to then have, it was an outright disaster on SSG. To then get reunited with some folks over on FaZe, really start doing pretty well, and then just to have the way Worlds went for them, the way that Worlds went for them was just ladies and gentlemen, that's regardless of how it happened to FaZe, regardless of them getting top 12 at Worlds, that right there, I think, is the perfect encapsulation as to why I personally love this fucking scene. Is that you can have a Game 5 banger of a series between the favorites to win the tournament and FaZe, to then the very next series that FaZe play, TSM are just like, hey, we're fucking here too, guys, and run through them. you never know. One of the phrases that I say all the time on the show is that a Friday is different than a Saturday, which is different than a Sunday in terms of the competition that is coming each day in a tournament. And it's yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming. Let's mention also that the team did not have a stable coach ever. Yeah, that's true as well. But hey, congratulations to Royal One. Congratulations to Royal One. On the birth of their child. Absolutely incredible. It's just sucks, man. Just sucks. But hey, sometimes that's how competitive Halo goes. That's how competitive Halo goes sometimes. But again, I don't care if regardless if Yaxon's still here or not. The other, like, can we not continue singing the praises of fucking of Luminon and Envy at Worlds? They both fucking went from losers round 1 to 4th and 3rd respectively at Worlds. Like, hello? Just fucking crazy, man. Just crazy. That whole event was fucking insane. That whole event was genuinely fucking insane. Also, Yaxon, I'm going to give you shit here for just a second. And hey, you didn't have to do it in a game 5. Look at you guys. You didn't have to do it in a game 5. You know? Sorry, I'm done being an ass. But seriously, like, Worlds was such an incredible event from a gameplay standpoint that you would look at it, and when you saw Luminon, you saw Envy get dropped to round 1, it's like, uh-oh. And then the runs that both those teams have to take 4th and 3rd respectively, the way that Shopify, coming off that game 5, just proceed to fucking run house. Like, TSM eliminating FaZe from the tournament. SSG obviously not performing to what they were hoping for, but they weren't that good all year. But yeah, Worlds was amazing. Worlds was fucking amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the competitive news. Which means it's time for Rostermania! There we go. You know what, Dav? We are going to play this clip, as a matter of fact, because this clip is short as fuck. It's the reason why we didn't watch the Lucid video, but I will watch this clip. We'll watch this shit together. So, thinking different series layout, we slam FaZe, especially in the best of 7. Yeah, you guys, I mean, shit. We're talking to Nick about this as well. Is that when you guys won that oddball live fire game? Oh fuck! as soon as you guys won that oddball live fire game against Optic, it was like, oh, okay, this tournament, I think it's over. Like, I even joked, Frosty, that I was gonna DM Nick after that game had concluded. I didn't do it. I didn't fucking do it. But I joked internally that I was going to DM him after that game and be like, well, congratulations, you guys just won the tournament. Like, that was That was it. I didn't do it. But yeah, Brad, as soon as you guys won that map, my immediate thought was, I think the tournament's done. Like, this is, yeah. Because if Optic would have won that map, I saw that series going back and forth. But the fact that you guys won that the way you did, I'm like, oh, shit. All right, well, sorry, guys. Oh. God damn. Knew there wasn't going to be a bracket reset after that. Oh, shit. All right, let's talk about Kason here. So we have a clip. The clip here is from Silly Vacation over on Reddit. And this is Kason talking about the HCS going into 2026. So let me make sure I have the correct screen up. I do now. And let me click on this shit. Here we go.
What about HCS? I'm still definitely looking to field a Halo team. I'm already, I actually already have the squad I want. But yeah, it's just, we're just waiting though. Just waiting, because you have to understand, like, we don't know how long Halo's going to be gone for. So like, there's really no point in paying player salaries. And people are saying Halo, it's dead. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I love Halo. I know Eric loves Halo. I know like some of us internally do, and it's a game I grew up on. I don't want to just abandon it. Like, I still have a lot of love for that game. Bro, I want to be in esports that I know we're actually competing like at the highest level possible. Like, we're all in on that esport. People are supporting it, and we're there to try and win championships. Not just to be an esport to be in an esport. Like, that is my outlook now, like, going forward. And I think a lot of people are aligned. I like the R6 shit we have. Like, I like, obviously we love CS and COD. Like, Halo I love a lot. Like, you just gotta lean into it. If you don't lean into it, there's no point in being in the esports. For what? Making fucking money? What are we gonna make in esports, brother? We just
but that's the thing. If you don't have passion for it, you won't make money doing it. Like, no bullshit. Yeah. Like, it'll die if you don't have passion for it. Like, passion is what keeps this shit going. Yo, the esports side, does it make money? Like, maybe not to you personally, but like, do they make money? Like, are they in the green with certain things?
They actually, and that's something Eric Anderson worked a lot on this year. Yeah, they are
100%. That's like,
they are.
You got to give Eric Anderson his credit.
He is. Is it like the most? Is everyone fucking taking money, pissing it out of their ass? Fucking, no, of course not. Yeah. Bro. Esports is so hard to make money in. That was the point I was making when I said I haven't made a penny. Tom, you know I haven't.
Yeah, I know you haven't. I know you haven't made anything.
I wasn't lying, but like it's just it's
I'm ready whenever everybody.
It's tough.
It is tough. Like, it's.
I think Doug just flashed.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's a tough business.
So that's, go back to Rostermania, Jesus Christ. If I can find the right button to press. Just real quick, I want to briefly mention, like, about the whole money-making thing. Again, like, esports is fucking rough, man. It's really fucking rough. And obviously the thing that I fucking talk about all the time is like, I know that unless you are one of the top teams competing in the Halo space, you're not making a ton in terms of like player salaries, which is unfortunate because if you are in my opinion, in any esport, right? In any genuine esport, if you are a professional player, I want you to be compensated as such. Like, I want you to be able to make a means to live, and it sucks. It just fucking sucks. So it just sucks. Now, with that being said, Kason did state in that clip, as you had heard, that he does have a squad ready to go, it sounds like. But like he had also said, won't be paying until they know what is actually happening next year. So the players are just sitting there and waiting as well. And again, it brings me back to my point I was making earlier. He says he has this roster ready to go. How do we know that's not going to change and whenever the fucking competition kicks back up next year? So obviously, if it's the players he wants and he knows they can work well together and the players are aware and aligned, then hopefully it all works out. Hopefully things work out. But for those who may not remember, the Shopify roster that we had during the year was almost not the Shopify roster we had during the year, where literally it changed in the span of 1 to 2 weeks. So anything can happen. I'll just say that in the world of Halo esports, I'm not surprised anymore. I'm just not surprised anymore. Or I should say nothing would surprise me anymore, if that makes sense. Because I thought I'd seen it all, and then shit had happened and be like, well, now I had to have seen it all. And now I truly feel like I have in terms of roster shit. But who knows? Maybe 2026 will bring some wacky shit. It'll bring some wacky shit. Dav, I think Lucid should do what Lucid thinks is best for him. Same with any other player out there. I believe that any player out there should do what's in their best interest. And to put a bow on it, right? Am I sad that players are moving on to Call of Duty? No. I'm not sad at all. If anything, I'm happy for them because hopefully it leads to something bigger, right? Hopefully it leads to something bigger. Hopefully it opens the door for them in a way that the door hadn't been opened before. And I just want to see them succeed. I just want to see them go through and get their opportunity and make something of it. Do I want to see players come back to Halo? Only if it's in their best interest. Because like I don't want to sit here and say that, oh, I hope they fail at Call of Duty and they come fucking crawling back to this game because they shouldn't have left. No, that's not the case at all. I want them to do what's in their best interest. I want them to do what they feel is best. And if that means taking a step away, if that means playing other fucking video games, if that means getting a different job, whatever it is, they need to do what's in their best interest. But yeah, I would love to see players making a return if that's what they believe they need to do and they want to do. Because Frosty, like I want you guys to have competition. Like I know you're fans. I know the Shopify fans are going to want you guys to run fucking train through every single event this year. But I want there to be some competition. I want there to be some shit to talk about. That'd be great. I mean, shit. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. But the last thing I will say about this is we know that Shopify have their roster for next year. We know that that's already set in stone. They're signed through next year. They will be ready to go. We also know that Kason has a plan for a FaZe team. There will be a FaZe team in 2026 from what it sounds like right now. They're just waiting to start paying until we actually have official dates for when things kick up. My assumption, and again, I cannot speak for them or the organization, but my assumption is that SSG will have a roster of some kind. Hopefully Envy have a roster of some kind. I would love to see them stay. I know that they said they'd be back in the next title, I believe, but I don't know. I just want something. And Yaxon, yeah, I had a feeling it was fucking the case. Yaxon says nope. And that sucks. It fucking sucks, man. Again, just makes me very curious. Just makes me very fucking curious about what organizational support's going to be in next year. Because I really I want pro players to be compensated fairly, regardless of there being an official league happening during the year. And I know that's very stupid of me to say, or very naive of me to say. But yeah, it makes me nervous about organizational support next year. It really does. It really does. Are we going to have to go back to the old school MLG days where all players would be paying their own way, and everybody's sleeping on the floor of the hotel room or whatever, and bringing it back to the real grassroots era? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. That's it for Rostermania. Let's get into some Scrim Tournament League recaps here. Just got one for you. The Fun of Mombasa Sun 2v2 results. In third, fourth, we had Halo Dads, which was its first shot, and it's Dr. Randy. And the original team name, which was Wytons and Parzival. In second place went to Team 9, which was Recursion and Not Green. And first place went to Chosen, which was Avicii and Syrian. Congratulations to them. Got to find a way where people don't lose a shit ton of money to put on events. And Tools, you guys have obviously worked on working production for events and so on and so forth. So you obviously know more about this realm than I do. I'm worried, man. I'm just worried. Rev says, how do top pros not wanting to compete against Shopify affect their legacy? I don't look at it that way at all. I don't look at it that way at all. I look at it more so in the sense that most of these players are adults and need to make adult decisions on how they're going to support themselves. And if that means they're unable to compete in 2026, or they're only able to compete in some capacity, whatever it may be, then they need to do what's best for them. I'm not putting it against their legacy whatsoever when we don't have an official league present in 2026. There you go. So yeah. Also, about this tournament real quick. I got to say this. Guys, to the admins of this event, I'm going to throw just an ever so slight tinge of shit your way. One of the map mode combinations that was supposed to be included within this event was Oddball on Bizarre, which, spoiler alert, it doesn't work in the game. And I could have fucking told you that weeks ago. But hey, whatever. You figured it out, I guess. But yeah, there's my little bit of shade I'm just going to throw your way. Glad to know the tournament continued. Oh, man. We're skipping a lot of segments this week. We're going to get right into some shoutouts. Oh, yeah, go. So, like I said, it wasn't going to work out. It wasn't going to work out. There's an event. Oh, Veggies. No, an online tournament that took place over the last week. That's all. Happy belated birthday to Wes Clutch Price. Happy belated birthday to you, sir. Hope it was a great one. Shout out to everyone who joined in the 8s as well. Actually, I think they're getting a lobby. They're trying to get a lobby going right now, as a matter of fact. So if you want to get into some 8s in the Pro Talk Discord, please join it. It's absolutely free to do so. They're going to get a round of 8s going right fucking now. Go join it up. That's right, Eddie. That's fucking right. Maybe no, you fucking won't, Ronan. Shut up. Get out of here. God damn. But hey, if you do. And then shout out to everyone who followed and subbed during the live show. That includes Give me a moment here. Absent with the 25-month resub. Radnade with the gifted sub. Rad with the gifted sub. Rad with the gifted sub. Beth with the 68-month resub. Frosty with the fucking raid. St. Griff with the follow. Rad with the additional gifted sub. Rabbit's Thunder with the follow. Juan Grandma with the follow. And Rad with the additional gifted sub. God fucking damn it. Thank you all so much. You all get a woo! Greatly appreciated, as always. You all are fucking amazing. And also, Yak, Frosty, others, thank you so much for joining the conversation as well. I really do appreciate it. Providing your guys' context to things that are happening. Like I said, it's appreciated. Did you like the docuseries? Oh my God, it's so great you fucking mentioned that, because community creations, Halo memes every day, reddit.com/r/Halo memes, go check them out. Then we have Legacy, presented by GameSir and Complexity. This is brought to you by none other than LVT. There's tools right there. Look at him. I mean, he's in the chat. He's not like, you know what I mean? But hey. Yes, obviously I fucking enjoyed it, tools. Come on. The fuck you mean? Little talk about this last year and what's coming. This is by Lucid. This is the video that we're referencing earlier on in the news segment. Halo Infinite Boomers versus Zoomers, December 2020 highlights by Cardinal Redbird. Go check that video out. And then we have the rise of Cycle from rookie to Halo Infinite World Champion. Probably also should have included in there from rookie to Halo season MVP to Halo Infinite World Champion. Because he won the fucking MVP of the regular season. Like, was that also just missed? Hello? That's by the HCS. Go check out some highlights by Cycle. He turns out he's pretty good. Turns out he's pretty good. Eddie says, I did see Yaxon and Tools kill it on the karaoke floor. See? There you go. Cycle and Last Shot had explosive years the past 2 years. Yes. Yes, they do. I hope they do phenomenal the next few years. They should. And there's no doubt in my mind that they, yeah. If the last 2 years were any indication, they should be just fine. All right. Time to plug this show. You can find this thing on all your favorite podcast services. Just search for HCS Pro Talk. We're on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, among others. And my favorite, Pocket Casts. It's not an ad. I just really like the application, and I use it every day. So there you go. Got a link tree. All the social links included in the Discord, the Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, right here. TikTok and merch, which will always be available. Shout out to everybody who's purchasing the merch still. Greatly appreciated. Hope you enjoy. And then, of course, you can head on over to hcsprotalk.com. It'll take you to HaloEvolve.co, your home for Halo. I just smacked your face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You beautiful Ang. You can check out Podcast Evolve shows, including Podcast Evolve, Mission Debrief, Halo TV Plus, Book Club, Built Was Blocks, Halo Headlines, and Halo Gear Guide. Go check them out. Ghost says, fuck you, fake it. Get the, what, Ghost? What the fuck? What do you mean? Why? What do you mean? What did he ever do to you? He stopped the Fire Nation. What the fuck you talking about? Oh yeah, the live action was bullshit, but we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. No. We don't do that. Nope. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. God, again, it's a bittersweet moment, you know? Been running with this 2020 fat joke all fucking year. From the first episode of the year to this one. The final episode of 2020 fat. Fuck, man. I know I say it all the time, but seriously. Thank you all so fucking much. To anybody that takes the time to listen, to anybody that takes the time to watch, to anybody that takes the time to interact with the show, whether it be on Discord, on Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever. I can't say thank you enough. I really can't. It'll be the show's 9-year anniversary in January. Which is pretty fucking insane to think about. So. Goddamn. Yeah. Yes, Dav, I am leaving. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the final episode of 2025. Hope everyone had a happy holidays. Hope everyone has a happy fucking new year. And Ghost, just DM me. Feel free to DM me. DMs are always open. Also, that goes for anybody out there. DMs are always open. If there's ever anything on your mind, DMs are always open. Also, I don't know what the fuck. Oh, I know, Tools. Yes, we do. We need to talk. I apologize. Sorry. Shit's been crazy. Descendant tweeted out 23 minutes ago, GG's. So whatever the fuck that means. I don't know what Yo, what? Zorlon, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live show. And is that Takedown? Is that the Takedown? Thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. I don't know. Viltramite? I don't know. He just said GG's. You can take it either way. I'm not going to assume. I don't want to make the assumption. I hope not. Daddy says, someone asked me in the golf sim, what is toe talk last week, actually? That's fucking amazing, Daddy. Daddy? That's incredible. What's up, Laird? How's it going? But hideous on the inside. Ghost. Yaxon, is he done? Is he like done? No way. No, there's no way. What's up, Chuck? Welcome back. You got the sticker right next to the door. I love that, Daddy. I love that. Oh, no, Takedown. He is a real person. He is. It's just Sika. That's all. He's real. All right, good. That's what I thought. I had a feeling he wasn't fucking done. I hope everything's okay. Like, I genuinely hope everything's okay. I know I give him shit. Yak, I know I give him shit all the time for the Origin going up the ramp on Rockets play. I know I give him shit, but I just hope he's not done. I don't want him to be done. You should. Oh, I do. Oh, I do. It's a moment that sticks out in my mind. Like, you want to talk about all-time moments in Halo Infinite Esports? That is an all-time moment for me. Gave him shit all year. I love it. Oh, man. Oh, I love you, Jason. Like, if you ever hear this, dude, I fucking love you. And I hope everything's okay, genuinely. I just have to give you shit for that play. I gotta give you shit for that play. That was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Oh, man. Yo, Daddy, that is an all-time moment. I have a pillar named after me and everything. Like, you have these pro players with fucking call-outs named after them? Nah. You want a pillar named after you that you suicide on rockets with. That's what you truly want. That's what you truly want. How does the show work? Every Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time, live here on this channel. Talk about anything and everything HCS that happened over the week. And like I said, I think it's coming up on 9 years in January. So that's kind of cool. That's pretty neat. So yippee. It is pretty cool, man. It is. You did, Daddy. I remember. God damn it. All right. I've sat here long enough. Ladies and gentlemen, wish I could be more involved, but Clutch Academy doesn't let me play. I mean. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to get into shit right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe reflect on that. Oh my God, Tools. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the show. That's going to do it for the last show of the year. That's going to do it for the last show of 2020. Fat. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your fucking busy schedules to just, listen, watch, whatever it may be. Really do fucking appreciate it. Wouldn't do it unless, just still love doing it, still love doing it. Still love all of you. Be back next week. Who the fuck knows what's going to be talked about then, but hey, we'll be here for it. Stay safe. Everyone have a happy new year. And here's going to be, this is dad me talking for a split second. Okay. Please, New Year's can be a crazy time. Please be safe. Have a sober cab. Be a sober cab. Whatever it may be. And yeah, don't make any stupid decisions. Okay? Or if you do make a stupid decision, do it within the confines of a safe space. See you next week. But until then,